Alright, what's good everyone? Welcome back to Moosey Game here, and today we're here with the chat in the live stream for today. And as you guys can see, we're in our KvK, Hero again from KvK, and we have another war coming up in 60 hours, almost right on the dot, right? We have in 48 hours we're gonna have this pass 4 opening, and then in 12 hours thereafter, yeah, in 60 hours, 63 hours to be exact, we're gonna have pass 4 fights, right? So in today's video, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at each and every one of my marches, and also make some upgrades for my infantry, as that was one of the things that I can actually make immediate upgrades on, as I'm currently using Bai Qi and Liu Che. And also at the same time, kind of what my plans are for the upcoming upgrades that I have for each and every march. So stick around, as this is one of the rare opportunities that I'm going to be actually showcasing my main account, guys. Alright, starting off from my profile, you guys can see that I'm currently sitting at 90 million power. It might be surprising because I actually got zeroed in my last KvK. Now, that doesn't mean I have a lot of troops. I do have enough for me to run, I think, one troop march of each, except for cavalry, as I'm a cavalry main with Zenith of Power 6 City Skin for 15% health. I have enough T4 units, T5 units for 2 marches of cavalry. And as you guys can see, I don't have that many T5 units remaining on the city because I've been training a little bit more of T4 units as a reserve, because I'm planning on pushing Zenith of Power event towards the end of this year, which is projected to actually come around December, right? Which is when I think we're gonna get 20% cavalry city skin based on the trend that we have seen in the last year or so. I've been keeping track of what kind of city skins were released at each time. And then if you guys look at some of my latest account coaching series, you guys can see that, yeah, most likely March 20% infantry defense skin, which is the one that is currently on right now. And then in 3 months from now, we're gonna have another 20% archer defense skin. And then 3 months from there, we're gonna have 16% all defense skin for universal, 16% defense. And then 3 months from then, that is when we're gonna have that cavalry hell city skin, most likely happening for the Power event in the December of 2026. So yeah, that's what I'm preparing for. That's why I have been training a lot more T4 units than T5 units. And that's why I just have enough for me to run a full march of T5. Nothing more, nothing less at this point, so that I can actually benefit from having the T4 reserves, upgrading them to T5 units, eventually coming into December of this year. So that's what I have been doing so far. That's why I have a lot of T4 units instead of T5 units, just so that you guys know what's going on. Now, in terms of my speed ups, let's just go ahead and take a look at my speed ups. I currently have 527 days of universal speed ups. Also at the same time, 79 days of healing speed ups, right? So most likely I'll probably eat into some of my universal speed ups as I go into this KvK. But at the same time, I'm gonna try to reserve as much speed ups as possible. That doesn't mean that I'm gonna actually restrain myself from fighting. I'm just saying that I'm gonna try my best to, be as efficient as I can in terms of speed ups. Again, because I'm aiming to get Zenith of Power City Skin for December, right? So that's what I'm planning on right now, and that's what I'm actually counting on. I've been using a lot of gems to get the speed ups lately as well, so that's what's been going on right now. And let's just go ahead and take a look at each of my marches, guys. This is probably where most people are most excited about. Now, looking at my first cavalry set, this is where my best set actually goes in terms of my entire account. I have the full cavalry set right here. Iconic 5 credit on all of those items. Now, this is also my rally and garrison set number 1, which should be more than enough to, in terms of equipment. There's no better equipment setup than this for cavalry. Now, the downside of this is that, unfortunately, cavalry is not most likely going to be a meta in this KvK. I'll go over when I actually take a look at the support trees, but, given the fact that Evar is going to basically counter David Hector or David anything, and the fact that Gorgo Toku or Gorgo Hector also counters anything related to anything that's like Attila Subutai, Attila Achilles. All those things are countered by infantry. So yeah, I don't know how much of Rally and Garrison I'm going to do, but this is basically my set for that. And in terms of my armaments, this is my current armament that I have on my main set. I have 12.6% attack, 12.7% defense, and 7.7% all damage. Now, I do have a better armament for this slot specifically, which is actually this one right here, because right now I'm missing a whole percentage of defense here. And but I actually am using this for that 1.9% all damage. I am planning on getting that defense actually re-rolled out so that it will be something higher. Now imagine if I actually had 3.5% there, which is going to actually push that defense to 13.7% out of 14%, which is the maximum that you can get for this, right? So in terms of min-maxing, I'm definitely probably up there in terms of how much min-maxing I can do with this. The only thing that I'm actually currently working on is basically this. I actually do have enough transportation skills for me to actually do this, so let's just try it one more time. But this is where my focus has been in terms of my first set. And there you go, 2%. So yeah, I've been rerolling this all the time. Now with the new Acclaim shop giving me up to 50 of those transmutation stones. Where's the Acclaim shop? Yeah, with the new Acclaim shop giving me up to 50 transmutation stones, most likely as soon as I get 5, I'm gonna go ahead and get that rerolled once again. Hopefully until we get something higher than 3%, because at this point I'm just better off not using that all damage armament. But right now I'm expecting that I'll actually have something rolled higher than this, right? So that's what I'm actually that's not where I'm at in terms of what that is. In terms of all damage, we're almost max. We're at 7.7%. That means I have 2% over here, and then 1.9% on all 3 of the other armaments, which is actually pretty crazy. But I do not have double inscription, so not the best set in the game, but probably one of the best sets in the game in terms of cavalry, rally, and garrison setup. But again, we're kind of out of meta. Not sure if I will be able to do that in this KvK, especially with the support skills, the way that they are set up for this KvK in Hero Ganthan here. Now, going into my second cavalry set. My second cavalry set is also probably the backup garrison that we have for our kingdom. I know that this is actually most likely not the garrison level class equipment that I would say, mainly because I'm actually missing iconic 4s on the accessories, right? Because if you're actually missing that 3% extra damage to rally and garrison armies, right? It's not something that you want to use for rally and garrison. I'm just saying that this is backup because, you know, when I'm rallying with my Attila Subutai or Attila Achilles, I could potentially hop on another garrison, most likely with David and Hector or David and Achilles, so that we can garrison something with this set again. I'm hoping that that doesn't happen because of how bad cavalry is right now in rally and garrison meta, but if that's the case, I'm prepared for it. It does have all the other ones that does have like the damage to troops on the map, which will actually impact the garrison damage, the damage dealt to garrison, so that should be okay, right? And in terms of my armaments for this, obviously not as good as my first one. My first scroll is actually pretty good, but everything else is just actually mediocre in terms of the stats here, right? 1.6%, 2.3%, 1.8%. This one's actually pretty good. This one's actually better than the one that I have on 1.9% all damage here, but I thought I wanted to get my main set all damage, so that's basically where this is, right? And then in terms of Leonin's Crest, this is actually pretty good. This is actually semi-legendary class, right? With 3.5% combo damage attack dealt, which is a lot less than Flurry. Flurry gives you 8%, right? But this is pretty bad, but shielded. 3.5% cavalry defense is almost as good as 2% all damage. So, in my opinion, I think this is semi-super rare / semi-legendary in my opinion. Again, not too bad in terms of my second set that I'm going to be using for field and emergency backup Garrison, basically. Now going into my third set, which is gonna be my Bai Chi, but actually, in today's video slash stream, guys, I'm actually gonna max my Sun Tzu Prime that I have here. So this is actually not gonna be my Sun Tzu Prime. We're gonna go in and take a look at the set first, though, because I haven't really made the changes. I think it will take some time if I do actually max him out and then actually place my equipments there. But let's take a look at the set that he has, right? This is actually not too bad too. For my infantry setup, I have critted KvK weapon and the helmet, and Iconic 2 on the KvK weapon. So this actually gives you a lot of stats, right? So that's not too bad. And also at the same time, I do have the Hope Cloak critted, not Iconic 4, because this is actually for rallied and garrison armies, but does have Iconic 2, which is actually not too bad. Have the Eternal Knight for Iconic 4 for the damage to troops on the map, which is actually not that bad. I don't have anything credit for the Embraces of Eternal Empire, which is kind of a rip, but it's my third march, right? It's my third march. I don't really mind this not having crit on this, right? Then I do have Karok's War Drum, as well as my Horn of Fury for maximum rage gain, right? Most likely I'm gonna actually go ahead and replace the equipment set on this setup right here to Sun Tzu Prime, and then run Sun Tzu Prime and Liu Che so that I can benefit from the Karok's War Drum as much as I can. But yeah, this is the setup that I have, and we do have 30 boosts of Eternal Empire for critted, but not iconic up beyond Iconic 1. But this is not too bad at all. Now in terms of my arch formation, I don't have pincer right now because I'm very convergence zone hungry, thanks to my crazy cavalry set, right? Do I plan on eventually moving on to pincer? No, I'm actually gonna go ahead and wait until we have pincer 2.0. So yeah, most likely that's what I'm gonna wait on. Prince of Light is like, have you seen Migration on Vortex? No, I can take a look at it after this video. But yeah, right now I have Arch Formation, not the craziest set that I will have, but it does the job on the field, I think. Destructive, I know, is not really the best set to have. But again, I actually initially slapped onto this one because it didn't have inscription. We're living with it at the end of the day. Most likely I'm going to convert this to Pincer 2.0 so that I can save some conversion stones at the end of the day. But yeah, that's basically what I have in terms of my infantry. And let's go ahead and move on to my fourth set, which is my Qin Shi Huang. Now, my Qin Shi Huang is a very interesting setup right now, right? It actually has 4 pieces of Dragon Breast set, which involves helmet, chest piece, weapon, gloves, which will give you that extra 3% skill damage from the Dragon Breast set, which is actually really, really good. But also has the Glorious Goddess set, right? Glorious Goddess set for the pants and the boots, right? This gives you maximum amount of health. This gives you most amount of tankiness, but lately, it's been the meta, I heard, that you actually use the full Dragon Breast set. Unfortunately, I crafted these when KvK Tech actually did not offer any health whatsoever for each troop type, right? And also at the same time, given the fact that I'm actually teching up cavalry before anything else, maybe this will still be beneficial, right? Because my archer wouldn't be getting health until like very later part of the KvK, so maybe this is okay, but that's what I have right now in terms of 2-piece leadership set as well as 4-piece Dragon Breast set. I do have the ring for the all damage buff that it gets occasionally, as well as the Call of the Loyal for the extra march speed. Now, do I wanna eventually move this out to Pendant of the Eternal Knight? Probably not. I do value march speed on archer, especially because you need to run away from cavalry, so, and it does the job, right? So I'm not sure, but yeah, I currently have no plans on updating this to Pendant of the Eternal Knight for the extra skill damage, right? And in terms of the wedge formation that I have, it just has a bunch of different common inscriptions, right? This one has Fit and Brutal, which will give you extra 7% total stats, right? 3.5% health from here, and then 3.5% attack from here, which is actually really, really good. I thought this was actually almost as good, or if not better than Boiling Blood. So that's why I'm not really too enthusiastic about rerolling this and then slapping it on to Qin Shi Huang. So this is what I'm using until most likely I have Wedge 2.0 Legendary Inscription. This, I think, does the job, right? Going to Banner of the Pantheon, this is actually really good candidate for Legendary Inscription, right? It has 1.8% all damage, 3.3% defense, and then 2.9% attack. So this is a really good candidate for Legendary Inscription, right? So that's why I'm keeping it right here. Now, is there better ones right now? Yeah, Defiant actually recently got the buff, so this could be the better one. But yeah, there's better ones, but then again, yeah, I'm just using whatever that I think is going to be eventually the best armor for this slot, right? And then for Honors of the Pantheon, I have Resistance for 2.5% less more counter attack damage dealt, as well as 3.5% health, which gives me a lot of total stats, but most likely it's better for me to actually reroll this and then give it to him eventually. But right now, all my transmutation stones have been focused more on my cavalry set, so I was unable to do so. So this is the set that I have. Not too bad. Overall stats are pretty high because of the 10.5% stats that I get from these three, especially with that 7% extra health that I get. But it's not the best set that I can have. It's not the worst set that I can have. It does the job. That's my Qin Shi Huang. Now, on to my 5th marsh. Surprisingly enough, I don't really have a solid 5th marsh. The 5th marsh that I have probably ready for right now is actually my John, which is my engineering commander. You guys can see that he is expertise. Now, the reason why I'm using John is from my mistake in the past, right? I should have actually gotten Gaja instead of John. But I thought, because ranged commanders actually generate rage a lot slower than melee commanders, I thought the rage gain, what 15% rage gain speed bonus from John, was actually more valuable than having Gaja paired up with John. With Cordoba. Oh no, what do you call it? Gonzalo. Yeah. So that was my mistake. Unfortunately, they don't really have that crazy synergy, but it is what it is. I'm not gonna go back and reinvest in Gaja. I mean, he is currently, where's my Gaja at? Yeah, he's currently like 5101, right? Yeah, I'm not gonna go ahead and go back to him eventually unless we get another commander swap, right? So this is what I'm using. Most likely, I'm gonna actually try to craft the full set, probably without accessory, because I do need to work on my 2nd cavalry set, iconicking up the accessories too. So most likely, I'm gonna go ahead and just update those 3 throughout the KvK. But this is gonna be something that I'm gonna actually try out this KvK, as I just recently crafted the Wailing Wolf's Gauntlet as well as Roaring Wolf's Claws. So this is actually something that I'm testing out this KvK. Has Ballistic for the extra 3% damage in V formation, and also 5% extra damage from line shot. Nothing too crazy, very standard stuff that I have. Now with that said, let's just go in and expertise our man Sun Tzu Prime. Now, why am I expertising Sun Tzu Prime this late? Because for one, I didn't really have real fight until now for Sun Tzu Prime. So I didn't really have a reason for me to expertise Sun Tzu Prime early. Because by the time that Sun Tzu Prime actually came around, yeah, our war was over. So I wanted to actually spin as many of those wheels as possible. We already did the 3 wheels. We got about 225, 235 Sun Tzu heads, if I were to count the 10 that was needed for me to unlock him. And we do have enough gold heads for me to actually expertise him. Now, will I regret this eventually? I'm not sure. But given that the Sun Tzu Prime is really, really powerful commander, I'm gonna go ahead and expertise him. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Alright. Let's use all my gold heads. It hurts, guys. It hurts. Looking stacked, bro? I don't know about stacked, man. But alright, we're at 5552. Still need to level up 3 more times. Ouch. And there we go, guys. We got the expertise Sunzu Prime. Ha 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 ha. Most likely I'm gonna have to still use Arch because I really have different set. Wait, where's my... Oh, there you go. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get that Arch set up. Where's my Baichi set? Yep. We're gonna go ahead and use this. And then let's go into our expedition. Ooh, I forgot to claim today's. Let's go to the Garrison mission. Then we're gonna go ahead and use Sunzu Prime. Where's my Sunzu Prime at? There you go. And then I'm gonna use Liu Che for that drum, guys. I'm gonna use Liu Che for that drum. I know I've been kind of saying that you should be using him with Baichu, but hey, if I have a drum, I think it is better to use Liu Che either way. So yeah, so we have that saved up. And now my first infantry set is gonna look like this, guys. It's gonna look like this. Them beautiful heads, I know. Okay, now going into why I said earlier I shouldn't be rallying or garrisoning, right? Obviously, I do have rally and garrison set up, right? If I were to use all my main setup over here, on my rally, obviously I would have a pretty decent rally set with Attila Subutai or Attila Achilles, depending on the situation, right? But here's where the problem is. Support skills. In this KvK map, the support skills for cavalry, rally, or garrison, guys, is really, really bad. Now, let's take a look at each and every one of them. Military Genius, Archer 10% attack and march speed. Not really made for cavalry. Okay, unit capacity, not for cavalry. Not for cavalry, rally, or garrison at the very least, right? And then 20% skill damage, not for cavalry, rally, or garrison. Tragedies end from Kusanagi. I guess this could be part of cavalry, rally, garrison, right? It does have combo proc, but still 900 damage factor. Skill damage, not really that better than anything else, right? And we have this one, which is from Baibar's support skill, which gives us 20% attack. Now, better than nothing, but still not the best one. Still not the best one. This one's Archer 1, 10% attack, 10% defense. This one's Archer 1, 10%, 15% attack, 15% defense. Unit capacity does not matter for our rally garrison. And Warlord could be usable whenever this commander's troop launches a basic attack. It has 10% chance to increase the target's damage received by 30%. Okay, most likely I'm going to use this because I have no other choices, right? Now, going into other ones, yeah, this is Richard. Attack for infantry and defense. Not really for rally and garrison for cavalry. This one is actually for unit capacity so it doesn't really count for cavalry, rally, and garrison. Again, Constantine skill, infantry health. Again, not really for rally and garrison for cavalry. We do have Normandic Empire, which sounds good on paper, right? If you read this through, if this commander's troop only has cavalry units and has more than 70% of the units remaining, it deals 30% more damage. Now, this is good for the first 10 seconds for rally and garrison, guys, and that's it. I'm not going to use this for rally and garrison. Because once you reach 70% units remaining, even if you're reinforced, guys, this does not proc anymore. Because if you're reinforced, let's say you reinforce 7 million into 3 million rally, right? And then it gets to 10 million total units that you use, right? So once the first 3 million is 7 wounded, this does not proc, no matter what. So yeah, for rally and garrison, this is not really the best one. It's gonna be in effect for 10 seconds as you enter KvK, as you enter combat, and it's gonna be gone. So this is not the best one, right? And this one's for Archer. Amazing one, but for Archer. Edward with stock, support skill, 30% health and 30% march speed. So most likely my only options for cavalry in terms of rally and garrison, guys, is gonna be Warlord, which is a very I would say it's not really that stable debuff, but still pretty good. But you know, not good enough for compared to other archers or infantry, right? So most likely I'm gonna have to use Warlord and 20% attack, right? Again, not really the best stats that you actually can have when infantry can get up to 40% infantry health. Yeah, this is I'm currently at level 3 for Constantine for Allegiance, but this goes up to 40% health, guys. 40% health versus 20% attack, that is insane. Same here. Edward with Woodstock, 30% health versus 20% attack, that is insane. And there's so many ways that infantry and archers can actually get the benefit from this skill selection of support skills, but in this map. But cavalry, not so much. So I already told my king, I don't really know if I should be rallying or garrisoning, right? Because right now, the best rallying garrison for any commanders right now, right? Best rallying garrison is all infantry, right? The best rally in the game right now is actually Scipio Aemilianus paired up with Ivar, right? Ivar the Boneless and Scipio Aemilianus is the best rally combo that you can possibly bring in the game, right? It does not get countered by any of the garrisons. And also at the same time, it just does trade massively well. It is anti-swarm too, right? His skill set makes him super anti-swarm as well. So this is the OP rally, right? So there's no reason for us to run Attila, Subutai, Attila, Achilles, in my opinion, unless we just have so many cabs to just kill after using so many infantry. That's my opinion, right? What is the best garrison in the game right now? Gorgo and Toku. Gorgo and Toku is the best garrison in the world, in the game right now. Now, it does get countered a little bit by Shapur, Ashurbanipal, but Gorgo can just use Gorgo and Hector as well, right? It is the best garrison in the game right now. Arguably only comparable with Choyoung Hera, but Choyoung Hera does not really have double true damage or double healing. So I would say Gorgo Hera, Gorgo Hector, or Gorgo Toku is the best garrison in the game. Now, my rally is gonna be Attila Subutai or Attila Achilles, and that's not gonna really do much against Gorgo Hector or Gorgo Toku unless we're in Kingsland, right? Unless we're in Kingsland and they cannot get reinforced as much as they can. Unless that happens, we can't really do much about it. And Ivar, Scipio Aemilianus will be the best counter towards Gorgo Hector or Gorgo Tokugawa. So, and also they have amazing support skills, right? Also they have amazing support skills like the 40% health from Allegiance. And what, like 15 attack defense here? They could also use the Warlord, right? They have so many good skills for infantry and archer right now that I don't really think that we should be using cavalry as rally or garrison. So that's why I'm not sure if I will be able to rally or garrison for now. So, but yeah, that's what I'm planning on doing for this KvK. And those are the lineups that I have for you guys. Kevin's like, have you checked the alliance chat? Let me check. What's going on? Oh! Kevin! Oh my god. Congrats, man. Oh my god, man. Congratulations. Ultrasound, right? For your baby. Kevin, my man. Yeah, he told me that his yeah, he told me about this, but he said he was gonna wait until he gets the ultrasound to share with the alliance. Man, congratulations for being a dad, becoming a dad, future daddy, Kevin. So congratulations for that. Man, that's amazing, dude. What a way to actually, yeah, what a way to end the video too. Anyways, well, big congratulations to Kevin, who has been an awesome supporter of our community as well as our alliance. Big shout out for Kevin for being future daddy, daddy Kevin. And I hope you guys actually enjoyed today's video. If you guys did, please go ahead and drop me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, guys. And as always, hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll see y'all in the next video, guys. Peace!